Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, is supported by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with code Club at 22. Your balls will thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome to Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. This is your club preview for the upcoming League Cup semi-final match against Hibernian on Sunday. I know exactly how Jermaine Defoe feels because I am in the hot seat tonight and I have no idea what I'm doing. And before I introduce you to the guys who are laughing at me, could I please ask you to like, share, subscribe to the podcast. If you're anything like me, you'll listen and watch podcasts and forget to like or subscribe to them. So if you just hit the like button and subscribe, we would very much appreciate it. Ali Pearson, how are you?
Not too bad. I see the other guys said they get the memo of wearing the Manscaped t-shirt tonight, but I've came through for you, Ryan. Don't worry.
That's why I introduced my favourite first. Thank you very much, Ali. Carney, how are you? Okay?
I am good, mate. I am not wearing my Manscaped because I am wearing the Club at 22 the Rangers podcast t-shirt. That is why. I'm delighted to be here, mate. Looking forward to you doing your first hosting job. Looking forward to this, I must say. But no, cheers.
Top man, if this goes well, I'm looking for an orange one of those. If you get it for Sunday, that would be fantastic because I have no orange attire for Sunday whatsoever. Scotia, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I've not got the top on, but I've got my briefs on, so I'm halfway there for that one. But yeah, I'm really good. Really looking forward to Sunday. Second time in less than a week. I've been at Hampden, going Hampden daft, me.
Indeed. That's the choice. I've been an international fan, but I'm sure Rangers will be playing at Hampden a lot more in the coming few seasons. So I just want to start off the podcast with obviously today, the Walter Smith memorial service took place at Glasgow Cathedral today, and I believe one of you guys said on the group chat that Rangers TV have just recently uploaded it. I've not got a chance to go and watch it yet. I'd like to watch it in full, but I did see a few clips, etc., of some football greats, Sir Alex Ferguson, Richard Gough, Frank Lampard, to name a few, and the Rangers first team also attended the service today. I do, before I get your views on it, guys, I do want to read a short quote from Alan McCoist. I don't think I'll ever forget what Walter did. I don't think I'll ever forget what Walter said. But one thing I can guarantee you, I will never ever forget how that man made us all feel. Walter, I love you to bits and thank you very much for the memories. I thought it was, as expected for Alan McCoy's touching words, and says a lot about how close their relationship was. Carney, I'll come to you first. Have you seen any of the memorial, and will you be pleased to see so many giant figures at the memorial service today?
Yeah, the turnout's pretty amazing, as we would expect for a man of Walter's stature. It was fully deserved that it was going to be held in Glasgow Cathedral as well, and the names that you just listed off, mate, are only a few that really attended, and it was really great to see. I was busy at work today, pretty much, and then the traffic was pretty bad getting home, so I've not actually had a chance at all to see anything before we come on. I seen wee clips. I quickly skimmed through it as well, just to see Tavs as well. Very classy from the captain, to be completely honest. And yeah, I will sit down probably after we finish recording, mate, and watch it myself. And can I pay my respects? From what I can see, they tried to keep it as light-hearted as they could and celebrate him, the man that he was. And I think it's only right to do so. It really is only right to do so, and I'm glad it happened. But to say I'm looking forward to watching it, you just know what I mean when I say that. I want to see it, and I want to pay my respects as well. So I'll probably sit with a wee can of beer after this and watch the full thing through.
Yeah, I think I'll do the same. I think I'll probably wait till the boys are in their bed, so they don't see their dad shedding a tear. Mm-hmm. But looking forward to that. Scotia, it was a great opportunity for his friends and his family again to pay respects. Well, he's a well-respected man, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's the least he deserved, and I think it's really important that something like this did happen while like honouring his family's wishes to keep the actual funeral service itself, you know, a more private and intimate. So I think that was really important. And then, you know, to get all ex players that he managed, ex colleagues like Archie Knox was there, and had people like Alex Ferguson, Craig Brown, a few of his old sort of Dundee United folk that he would have known from his Dundee United days as well were there. And obviously, unfortunately, it's times like this where it brings all the footballing world together. And obviously, you had the Celtic contingent there as well with like Davy Hay and Neil Lennon and the likes. So it was really good to see, and it's it's the least that it deserves. Like yourselves, I think the clip got uploaded by Rangers at about 5 p.m. this evening, and I thought, oh, I've got just enough time to maybe squeeze it in, but I've not watched any of it. I want to, like you, sit back after we've recorded this and just take it all in, absorb it all, and pay my own respects, raise a wee whiskey to him while watching it. So, like Carney says, it's a strange sense of looking forward to it. It's kind of like, to be honest, how some people that you hear speak about like state funerals that happen. That's kind of how I feel towards this, because of the impact and the kind of joy that Walter Smith brought to me. So, yeah, really anticipating this one.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's very much like that. But I'm sure it'll be I'm sure it was a fitting service, Ali. I don't know if you've got anything more to add. I know we've done a lot on Walter Smith, and he deserves every minute of it. And if anyone listening or watching hasn't watched our podcast, then I suggest you get that on your favourites list, because I think we've done a good job of that for him. Anything more to add on that, Ali, at all?
No, I mean, I'd same as Carney. I literally just from work not long ago as well. The traffic was a nightmare, but I did see it's an hour and a half. I will sit down and watch it. I did manage when I was having my dinner to watch a bit of Ali McCoy's part, and he basically said it's a celebration of Walter's life, and he wants to keep it light-hearted in terms of let's celebrate the memories and the stories. So I think it'll be a good watch in terms of the stories, in terms of Alex Ferguson telling stories, McCoist, etc. Just how good a guy he was. But McCoist, I mean, that quote you gave at the beginning, Ryan, summed it up lovely in terms of Walter. And yeah, I'll look forward to sit down and watch all the memories that all those great icons have to say about Walter.
Yeah, and I think, as you said, if that's what McCoy said about it being a celebration of life, like I said, the last podcast, I think we just got to look at, we should be thankful we had Walter Smith twice, because he was fantastic for our club. And yes, rest easy, Sir Walter. So moving on to the next subject is the unveiling of the 17th manager in our 150-year history. Yes, 17th in 150 years. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst was unveiled yesterday as the Rangers manager. You guys did a podcast last night. Unfortunately, I was unable to make it because I was on the floor due to it not being Derek McInnes. Keith Jackson did say it was going to be Derek, but I was so shocked and I just couldn't get off the floor. For me, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, I've not really had the chance to speak to you guys, but for me, it just feels like the right appointment. Ross Wilson did say it wasn't the obvious appointment. I do feel as if it was the obvious appointment. I think his credentials are higher than the previous manager. We have been speaking on the podcast all season that we have looked stale this season. Something's not right. Something's not clicking. And the more that comes out in the coming weeks, I do believe that you might find out that the managerial side of things just wasn't right at Rangers, and this could be a blessing in disguise. So I feel as if it's the right appointment for Rangers, and I'm excited to see Van Bronckhorst in the dugout next Thursday. Ali, I'll come to you. Do you think, I know you said it would be maybe a tweak here and there, do you think he's going to bring a different style to Rangers in sense of how we play?
I think he'll keep the 4-3. As I said last night, and I was last night when he's coming into a team that he doesn't really need to change in terms of we're a winning team. He plays the 4-3-3, which we all know, but he plays it slightly different. He likes a focal point up front. I think that's where you might see it change. Previously, you see Morelos or Roof, whoever's playing through the middle, will drop deep to try and drag. I think you'll say to Morelos, if he's playing up front, you just stay there. And the other guys will go either side of him. And your Hadjis might come in the middle of the park too. So in terms of that and the front three, I think he'll have more of a focal point. But sometimes we've been crying out for, because sometimes we get down the wings and launch balls in, there's nobody there. So I think that's what we might see. I think he likes to play the fullbacks high as well. So I think it'll be similar, but I think when we're at Ibrox, especially looking, I know we have a good view, Carney, up in the club deck, we'll be able to see just exactly how he wants to play. But I think the main one will be that number 9 is the focal point.
Yeah, I think it's probably been a lot to do with our decision in identifying Van Bronckhorst as a replacement for the previous regime because of the players we've got. Our fullbacks play high, and we play that one striker with the two of them. I think that's been a big part of it. That's the way Gio plays his teams, and it's probably why we've selected him. One of the big reasons why we've selected him anyway. Scotia, come to you. My thoughts with Van Bronckhorst, well, I hope with his style of play is going to be, because he's played in Scotland already, he knows the level of Scottish football. I think the previous regime struggled to adapt in the first season, at least the first season, in terms of if we went up 1-0 away to Kilmarnock, for instance, we would sit off for 15, 20 minutes. We maybe wouldn't go for that second goal. I don't see Van Bronckhorst doing that. I see him going to try and kill games. Do you think the mentality will be different with Van Bronckhorst than maybe the first season under Gerrard?
Yeah, it probably could be. I read, I know Carney asked me the question last night if I expect total football, and I'd said, like, you know, I hadn't really seen Feyenoord play when he was their coach, so it was just like I had picked up and stuff that other people had said. But I read there was an interview in the BBC today, and Brad Jones, the American goalkeeper, he was getting interviewed, and he was over at Feyenoord when they won that title, and he was kind of saying that it's maybe not quite total football, but you know, he'll go in, and if he sees something that he needs to change, he can do it. You know, and he's quite pragmatic in that approach. And I think his previous experience in Scotland will certainly help him to some degree. I think you've got to remember, though, when he was with us, the rest of the teams perhaps weren't as defensive as they have been in the past few seasons. They seem to have got a lot more stodgier over the course of the last sort of 5 years or so. I think it was a wee bit more open back in the sort of late 90s, early 2000s. But because he's got that past experience, he'll probably have still been sitting, keeping an eye on like Rangers results. He's probably not sitting watching like a Inverness Ross County game or anything like that, but he'll definitely have kept his eye on the league and be aware of what's happening, which is really good. And I was looking up some stats today, and taking out his time at Guangzhou, because it was only like there for 23 games. If you compare his win percentage record at Feyenoord was 60%, and I was looking at Steven Gerrard's stats, and his win record was for Rangers was 65%. Now take into account that Feyenoord are probably the third team in the Netherlands. I think they're really encouraging sort of managerial statistics for him to come into Rangers and take us forward. And as well, they had Champions League games for one of them where I think they get beaten all but one of them. So yeah, I think it's a really good appointment, and really looking forward to see what he can do with us.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. I'm really excited about it, and the difference in mood this week to last is quite something. But coming to you, Carney, do you think we'll be bringing any? Do you think Van Bronckhorst will bring any Dutch players in, or players from the Dutch Premier League? And also, have you got your full Holland kit ready for Sunday, ready to do the Links race? Is that how it presents it?
Yeah, is this song? Is this song?
Yeah.
They come in an aeroplane or something, walking down Copewood Road. I've seen that.
This is it. I just can picture you doing that at Hampden on Sunday.
Oh, I've got the orange socks, the orange pants, mate, the orange shorts, the orange bucket hat. I am kitted out, mate. I am ready to go. I can't wait. Good stats, Scotia, by the way. I liked that. Really enjoyed that. It was good. You can tell you've got some spare time today.
I was on a half day, so I thought I'd make use of the time.
And also, Ryan, you mentioned that you were on the floor when you had the announcement of Derek McInnes. I know what you were actually doing yesterday, mate, and I didn't know what way that was going to turn there. I was like, oh, hang on, what was about to happen here?
My parents watch this, so just careful.
I know, no, mate, that's all I'm saying. I'm not going to get any further than that. Also, I forgot to mention, obviously we're talking Walter at the start. Did you notice the artwork's Ryan Jack today? Because I thought I could have done Gio, but I thought it was your first hosting job, so I thought I'll do Ryan Jack for it, to be honest. But anyway, right, on to Van Bronckhorst. I think obviously Van Bronckhorst is obviously just doing his tour round my area, because fireworks have started going off for I really have got no idea why. So Van Bronckhorst must be passing in the car. I should be out there with my orange kit on. Gio opens the door to Holland, to be completely honest, for us. The way that Gerrard kind of opened the door to Liverpool, I suppose. I think the wee bit of trepidation that I probably have is some of the choices that Gerrard made to bring to Rangers from the youth academy or whatever, or from Liverpool, were poor. Let's be honest. Like, it was Ejaria, I think was he from Liverpool.
Ojo.
So was Ojo as well. So yeah, two not. It didn't really work. Ojo scored, I think, a belter for us. I think it was in Europe he scored that. He scored a cracker, but apart from that, it didn't really... It was against Feyenoord, so it was. Listen, hell, man. So it was. So I mean, I'm excited to see what caliber of player he thinks that we need, and what he feels like he needs to be brought in. I'm really excited. Honestly, I am. I think I'll go along with what you said, Ryan, about Ross Wilson saying that he wasn't the right man for the job. I think he is the right man for the job, and it was like first choice, it's him. We all know it's Gio. Let's just go and get him. And it was a case of just dotting the I's and crossing the T's, really. It was pretty inevitable. And what it's done as well is create unsettlement as well throughout the rest of Scottish football, a certain team in particular who can't really seem to cope with this. And it's very funny. No matter how many times I get told he was sacked in China, he wasn't sacked in China. He left China because of COVID. So yeah, and we've been told the tax man's still after him for the EBT. So man, Gio's a brave man coming to Glasgow, let's be honest. But no, in terms of footballing, I think we're in for a right treat. And he immediately has every Rangers supporter behind him. So what a way to start off. He's coming in. The team are in a really good position, let's be completely honest. So it's exciting times. And me and Ali both went and bought the orange training top today because it was £35 in the Rangers store. So I will be wearing an orange top on Sunday. That is for sure.
I would say, just on that orange top, Kai, a lot of people they would have got their email last night about after Gio's announcement saying 25% off the orange training top, which hats off to Castore for they'll be making money off that. But it did say in the email it was online only, but me and Carney both were in the shop today, and they can actually give you the 25% in the shop, and there was tops. So yeah, so if anyone's looking to get the top for Hampden for Sunday, go into the Rangers store, the one in Buchanan Street, and just say the Geo 25, and they can do it at the till for you, and you'll get 25% off.
Spot on.
Nice
one. I feel like a representative for the Castore there.
I know, we should surely be getting a cup for this.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking, if they can send a few tops through, that would be nice. I mean, I do like this Manscaped t-shirt, but no, that nice one, Ali. I just want to kind of bookend that anybody watching that's offended by that being an orange top, let me just solidify the fact, yes, it is an orange top, and get it right up you. You mentioned Ross Wilson, Scott, which takes me perfectly onto the next subject. I don't know if you have watched the Ross Wilson interview last night. I caught it late on. He really impressed me, Ross Wilson. He has since he came in the door. I think with his background, he left university in 2004, and he's been in football ever since. Every role he's been in since he left university has been a footballing role. Huddersfield, Watford, Southampton, and then ourselves. But he looked absolutely delighted and so genuine in his interview. I think it must have been hard for him coming in 2019 when the managerial positions were already filled, and the coaching positions were already filled, so he didn't have that much work to do. But you could tell he built a relationship with Gerrard and the coaching staff, and that's you take your hat off to him for that. One thing I did want to pick up on though, one thing he did say was, and I'll quote this: "Once he indicated he wanted to do something else, we have been tracking a number of potential future Rangers managers." Now that quote kind of stuck out to me. I thought it made me think that this Van Bronckhorst, or this identifying future Rangers managers, it's been very much in the mixer for a lot longer than 3 or 4 days or whatever was suggested in the Aston Villa press conference. I think Ross Wilson is a total credit to the club. I think he's been doing some unbelievable work, and he's got his man. He's got the man we all wanted. Just Scotia, what's your opinion on Wilson? Are you a fan of him? Do you think he's an asset for us?
Well, I think I'm a massive fan of him and what he's done. The philosophy of the club. I think, obviously, to be fair, it probably started off with Alan slightly, but as I said last night, I think Wilson had always been our favoured kind of choice, but he chose to stay at Southampton before we'd appointed Alan. But we finally got him in 2019, like you say, come in. And, it's that role of the sporting director to kind of build the philosophy through the football club. It's maybe slightly different in the UK than it is in continental Europe, where they've got more control over the buying and selling of players. But I'm sure him and obviously Gerrard previously, and him and Van Bronckhorst going forward will be in very, very close discussions with each other about who we're targeting, what we're doing. But it's bringing the philosophy through from the very bottom of the youth ranks right the way to the men's first team, which is kind of he spoke in his interview about things about Sunday that you'll probably come on to, which that's his role to get all that sorted to do it. So I think he's doing absolutely fantastically, and I think as well he's probably had a big impact in the reason why we've got a B team playing in the Lowland League, and why we're pushing to get the B team playing in the lower leagues of the kind of the top 4 in Scotland. So yeah, really impressed by what Wilson's been doing. Long may it continue.
Yep, totally agree. Carney, do you think he is an underrated asset with us? I certainly do.
Yes, I think so. I think this was his first real test, and by that I mean, yeah, obviously he's part of recruiting players for certain positions, etc., but this one had a direct effect on how the rest of the season would go, and how next season and following season after that would go. So he really had to get this right. I'm in agreement, mate. I think the club and Ross Wilson, Gerrard have known that this was happening long before it actually did. Maybe not long, I don't want to say that, but at least a couple of weeks anyway. There's no way that it just all happened in the space of a week, so it's definitely been in motion. I don't think anybody would disagree, obviously, looking in on it. But credit to Wilson. He has responded well. Very rarely in my time as being a Rangers fan and remembering, everybody was just like, it's Van Bronckhorst, it will be Van Bronckhorst. And I remember, even when touching on Walter again, I remember when Walter came back a second time, I remember people grumbling about that and maybe not being too sure about getting Walter back, if it would work, if it wouldn't work. Obviously, he went on to prove that it did. But I have not heard anybody say about Gio that this is the wrong move, we shouldn't have done this, or we should have went for whoever else was linked with the job. I think it's testament to Ross Wilson and his role, and he is, I said it last night in the pod, he is a very fitting sporting director, and he's done the job that was asked for him for this football club. And I will say, he was like the cat that got the cream on that interview. He could not wipe the smile off his face. But I mean that's literally performing your job to the best of your ability. So you are quite right to be pretty happy with yourself. So very underrated. I hope he sticks around for a few years longer. He has been. He's obviously, we don't know how it's going to go with Gio. We all would like to think it's going to be very successful, but as of right here and right now, and even if this was to go wrong with Gio, I don't think you can really put any blame onto Wilson, because this is what we all wanted. So no, credit to him.
Yeah, he's got his man. He knows he's made us happy in doing so. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I just thought he come across really genuine in that interview, and done himself a lot of favours with Rangers fans, and I think we're starting to appreciate what the director of football role really entails. So yeah, Ali, just lastly, do you think I'm looking too much into that quote that I've said there, in terms of, I'm saying that been tracking a number of potential targets since Gerrard made it obvious that he wanted to leave?
No, I said weeks ago I knew he'd have targets sitting there with Gerrard in place anyway. That's his job at the end of the day, Wilson. That is to, in case the scenario of the manager does leave, because it's modern football, managers, you see it in the Premiership, a manager leaves one day and there's a new manager in just behind his arse straight away. And no, I believe, like he said, he had 2-3 targets sitting there ready to go when Gerrard says, no, I'm off. So when he said, I'm off, Gerrard, Wilson went to his list and got to work straight away. I mean, I did say the other week I thought it could potentially be up to a month, because I didn't want Rangers to rush in. But that's probably me thinking, going back previously, the way Rangers have done their business in terms of how they've got managers in, which haven't gone great. And Ross Wilson's come in, identified the man that he's been tracking. He's got him in 6 days. I know he's not going to be there for the Hibs game. He'll be there in the stand, but that's to do with Brexit, work permits, etc. That's why he won't be there. So you've got to give hats off to Ross Wilson. He's doing a good job, and Ross Wilson, he's a bit our age, if not a bit older than us. Ross Wilson, he's got a cracking job. He's probably got the second best job after Andy Firth. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen to him further down the line, but no, hats off to Ross. Hats off to Ross Wilson. He's doing a very good job so far.
What I will say as well, sorry Ryan, what I will say as well is, I forgot, because you've said Andy Firth, mate. You've completely threw me because you said Andy Firth. Oh, never mind. I've completely forgot what I was going to say.
I'll catch
it. It'll come back.
I'll catch this. I'll save the day as the host here. I reckon you've got to give credit to Ross Wilson, because he's chased his man, he's got him, and there's nothing worse than spending maybe 4 or 5 months trying to get your man, and then he says no. Yes, Scott.
I've remembered. I think a lot of people were as well a wee bit critical of how fast this was, and it's been really quite a quick appointment. You've seen a few people saying, "Oh, it's been really quick." Gio wasn't in a job, so that takes away a lot of negotiations with another club and compensation payments and everything else. Gio was literally sitting ready and waiting. So I think that eliminates any doubt about the time that it took for it to happen. It was very quick, but as I say, he wasn't in a job. So I wouldn't be worried about how quick it was. Yes, I remembered.
It's a good point, but Eddie Howe wasn't employed either, but he chose unemployment. So,
see, he's. I flashed up my phone there. He's actually got COVID, so he can't lead Newcastle like the weekend. This first game.
Oh my God, that's
good.
brilliant. Well, it's not good. He's got COVID. He's got COVID. No. That's not good. But no, that's
no. Of course, it's not. And hopefully, he's absolutely fine, and he gets his full statutory sick pay.
Yeah.
So obviously we're here to preview the Hibs, the League Cup semi-final Hibs at Hampden, which I'm very much looking forward to. I've been looking forward to it for months, if I'm being honest with you. I do think this is a pivotal game for us this season. I've said that I think the League Cup is huge for us. It is a monkey on our back at the moment. There's no doubt about it. But as I've said, the old regime are away, and we've got a new manager in place, and we've nothing to fear. Hibs are on a horrible run of form at the moment. They have lost the last 4 games to Barca Celtic at home 3-1, to Aberdeen away 1-0, to Dundee United at home 3-0, and they also lost to us at Ibrox 2-1, which is probably, by the looks of it, the last time they played well. They also, in the League Cup, they put out Kilmarnock 2-0, and in the quarter-final, they won 3-1 away to Dundee United, and notably were 3-0 up at half-time. So they've done all right in the cup, but in terms of the league, they have pretty much fallen off the face of the earth. They are 6th in the league. With Martin Boyle as their talisman. He is joint top goal scorer with Olympic diver Hyogo Furuhashi on 7 goals. Before I go on to your teams and find out what you think of the game, Carney, going by form and me reading out those results to you, this should be an easy win for Rangers, no?
Oh, don't say something like that, Ryan. Going into semi-final at Hampden. My goodness. Based on the paper, mate, looking at it on paper, yeah, I'm going to say something else that Ali will probably shout at me for. I'm feeling rather confident about Sunday. I think Rangers we are more than capable of putting together a performance. The new manager's obviously going to be in the stand as well, and the whole atmosphere around the ground, everybody's going to get a lift. There's also the chance for players now to make an impression on the new manager, all these kind of things. But this is why you have such a vast coaching staff. You have such influential players in your team. This is when you have people like Tav in your team. You have people like McGregor in your team, Goldson. It's time for them to step up. This is one game of football you have to do without a recognised manager, if you like, in the dugout. They are professional football players. They should be well aware of what they need to do and the task in hand. So, yeah, on paper, mate, yeah, it looks like we should be doing quite well here. But you never know. It's a semi-final at Hampden, and we've not had the best of luck with Hibs at Hampden in recent times. So, but in saying all that, I think the atmosphere, I think the whole day about it, hopefully it's a sea of orange to welcome the new manager, and I think it's going to be a one to remember, and I honestly cannot wait for it.
Yeah, bad record against them at Hampden is an understatement, and bad record against most teams at Hampden in the past couple of years is an understatement. And if I'm being honest, but these things change, times change, and Rangers are on course these days, and they're a different animal to what they were a couple of years ago. If you think of the Aberdeen performance at Hampden, Ali, Jack Ross is a very astute manager. I really rate him. I think his teams are always organised and always well drilled. What's your view on Sunday?
I know you asked Carney about the results on paper. Do you take that into account? I'd throw that right out the window straight away. I know Hibs, and we can take into account Hibs haven't actually played a game for 3-4 weeks either because of COVID. So how they'll approach it, I know they had a bounce game, I think, against Dundee during the week. So it's similar to when we actually played Hibs in the cup final. We didn't kick a ball for 4 weeks and we couldn't get a game, and we went into that game, and obviously we know what happened. So it'll be interesting to see how Hibs approach it. But every time we've played Hibs recently, it's been close. Let's be honest about it. It's been 2-1, 1-0. It's been very close. I expect it to be the same, to be honest. But I don't like Hibs as a football club. I really don't. They are basically the Mankey Mob of the East. That's what they are to me. But if you want to give them credit, they'll come and play football, Hibs. They always come and play football against us. And we always say that should play into Rangers' hands because we can play our own game. So, yeah, he is a good manager, Jack Ross. They're going through a sticky time at the moment, but I still think it'll be close, to be honest. And I'm just surprised that most of their support, only 6,000 of them are only coming to support their team at Hampden, which I think is a disgrace, to be honest. I know it's a Sunday at 4 o'clock, but these teams that win, I just thought I'd say is these teams that come to finals and they want half tickets, but when it comes to a semi-final, can't support their team. Sorry, it's a bit of a disgrace if you're a Hibs fan. 6,000 fans coming to Hampden to support your team. But I'm the same as Carney. I'm confident, to be honest, but they will give us a game, Hibs. Let's be honest about it. They will. They're not going to lie over.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They'll give us a game. I'm quite like you in terms of, I think we spoke about it before. I never seem to fear Hearts, but when we play Hibs, there's always this kind of sticky thing in me where I think they're going to turn a performance in, and it was a bit tongue in cheek in terms of saying it should be an easy win for us, but just going off their previous results. But yeah, those results go out the window. Scotia, Hibs had our number at Ibrox, whatever way you look at it, before that sending off, they had a number, and I, for one, was certainly worried. What are you expecting from Hibs on Sunday?
Similar to what you have said there, the Hibs are, between the two Edinburgh clubs, Hibs are always the one that gives me a wee bit more worry, and I think that's down to past sort of recent historical results. Obviously, that final we played at Hampden a few seasons back when they scored in the last sort of 5 odd minutes. I'm sure there was a game earlier in the 2000s that they beat us maybe, and there was, what was was it 5 each, the result at the end of the championship season?
God, aye.
That was like, and we were cruising and then we just completely collapsed. So all these wee results just stick in your mind and seem to give you a hard time. But then there was games. Then there's been like games recently in the Premiership where they've been the best team we've come up against in the Premiership in the last couple of seasons. But taking all that into account, because they've not played in, like Ali says, I think 24 days, it was the last time they actually played. We last played as a team 14 days ago. And obviously we've had quite a few players. 8 players actually got at least 90 minutes in international football over the international break there. So feeling pretty confident. Because there was no press conference from Rangers, I went and watched Hibs' press conference. Well, it wasn't. I see how much dedication I put into this, Carney. It wasn't much. It wasn't a press conference as such. It was an interview on Hibs TV that I kind of spied on YouTube earlier today, which Jack Ross was talking about it, and he was had mentioned that Christian Doidge, he's back from injury and is going to be in the squad, but I doubt he'll play. But he was talking, obviously it's for Hibs TV, so it's going to be very Hibs-centric, but he was talking about the amount of effort that they've put in to training to kind of rectify the wee bit of the collapse that they've been having those last 4 games, which, see, for me, this always happens with your likes Hibs, Hearts, Aberdeen. They do well up to a point, and then they just start dropping silly points and fall completely off the face of the earth, and then it becomes us and Celtic for going for the title. But I'm feeling fairly comfortable for it, and then just looking at us, and then obviously we've not had the press conference, but injury news, I think I've seen that Roof has potentially picked up a knock when he was playing with Jamaica.
Scholes, have you seen him? He's been running about with a Nerf gun shooting half the Rangers
I
team at the moment, so I hope he's in the bench so he's fit.
Yeah, I don't know. So because Gio only arrived in Glasgow today, I think it's going to be down to Dave McCallum, Gilmore, Colin Stewart, and Jermaine Defoe as well. So I think in a Rangers perspective, I think we'll see, what we've been used to for the game on Sunday. And this is one that I wouldn't, regardless of the result, for me, you can't turn around and point the finger at Gio, although that's likely what will end up happening in some quarters.
Yeah, it certainly will. But if Defoe gets the result and gets the performance on Sunday, then surely gets the job and we get rid of Gio,
Wouldn't say that.
Before I go on if we just go on to our teams then, I just want to get your kind of insight into what you thought of Hibs. But Carney, I'll come to you first then. What's your team, your score and your first goal scorer, please?
I think we will pick the same team, everybody here. I think this is the blank canvas and we're probably all just going to go for the big hitters, in my personal opinion. So I think it will be McGregor, Tav, Goldson, Balogun, Barisic, Davis, Kamara, Aribo, Kent, Morelos, and if Roof is carrying an injury, then it'll be Hadji. If not, it's going to be between Hadji and Roof for the other side, in my personal opinion. Maybe Aribo swapped out and Hadji playing in the middle. So that's my team. I am going for 3-1 and I'm going for Alfredo, first goal scorer.
Nice, I like the sound of it. Positive. Right, Ali, hit us with your team.
Carney was quite confident about saying he thinks everyone's going to go with the same team.
And I was right.
No.
No.
I'm going with Andy Firth and goal. No, sorry. I'm going with McGregor in goal, a back four, a Tav, Goldson, Balogun, Barisic, midfield 3 of Kamara, Davis and Aribo, so the same as you. And then up top, I'm going with Ryan Kent, Alfie through the middle, and the man for Zambia who scored 4 goals in international duty, Fashion Sakala. And my result, my score is the same as yours, Carney. It's 3-1, and Sakala, first goal scorer.
I should be writing this down, shouldn't I?
So it's Scotia
Sorry,
usually
recorded.
writes things down.
That's fine. Nice one. Okay, and Scotia, give me your team first goal scorer and result, please.
My team's exactly the same as Ali's. I think Sakala deserves
Scotia.
to keep a spot considering the goal scoring form, and because Hampden's such a big pitch, it's a lot bigger than, well, not a lot bigger, but it's bigger than Ibrox, so I want some speedy players up top there. And with Barisic at left back, I didn't actually mention when we were talking about Gio. I think this might stand Barisic in good stead, because obviously Gio dropped back to left back when he was at Barcelona, so hopefully he can sort of get Barisic back up to the kind of levels that we know and expect from him. So yeah, same team. Scoreline, I'll go 4-1, and Sakala first goal scorer.
I like that.
Me too.
Four goals, eh? Oh. My team is there a reason why nobody's went Bassey? Have I missed something? No? Is Bassey fit? Yeah?
Yeah, he's fit, yeah.
Right, well, my team is McGregor, Tav, Goldson, Balogun, Barisic, no, I'm all joking, Bassey, Aribo, Davis, Kamara, Kent. I've went Roof, and through the middle to four. I think he'll be selfish and pick himself.
Not a chance, man.
Morelos, I think Roof will play. I don't know if he's injured, then obviously maybe not. But I think the four will be a bit of a. I think it'll be a bit of a pals act in there. He seems quite close with likes of Roof and Bassey, etc. So I think Roof will play, and I will go 2-0 Rangers. Morelos first goal scorer. So that's where we'll sit with that.
Imagine Defoe picked himself. Can you imagine if he
That'd
done
be
that?
brilliant.
Oh, that would be. I'd absolutely love if he did that. And Alfie's just sitting on the bench.
Is there more
Rangers.
subs in the League Cup?
I don't think so.
No,
Ooh, don't know.
Is it the same
Don't
as the
know.
league?
I think it's
Because
just
it was at the
only-
start of the season, they play that tournament thing. I wasn't sure if they'd maybe put in more subs for that, because COVID was still kicking about a wee bit more back then.
You're the stats man, Scotia. You're meant to know this stuff.
Sorry, it came into my mind there when you mentioned the phone. I was like, maybe I'll put myself on the bench.
Oh.
He might if Kamara Roof's not available. You
Oh
never
no,
know.
he won't. Come on, he's not even. I don't think he's been on the sub bench at any point this season. Come on.
well, but see
It's written in the
if
stars for
we're
him to
cruising-
come on and score the winner.
If we're cruising, he'll put himself on.
Probably.
A wee appearance fee. Right, guys, I think that'll do us. Thanks very much for that. Thanks for letting me host this. I've really enjoyed it. Before I say bye to you all, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. As I said before, we are also sponsored by Manscaped. If you go onto their website and use the code club at 22, you will get 20% off, which is an incredible offer, and their products are unreal. Well, not just the t-shirts, they've got all sorts of products there, and anything you buy, I can assure you your balls will thank you. Ali Pearson, thanks very much this evening.
No problem. You've done well, Ryan. And I'm buzzing for Sunday, off Monday as well. So we're going for a breakfast, bevies, the game, hopefully celebrating more bevies. So I look forward to it.
Good man. Scotia, thank you.
Yeah, cheers, buzzing, absolutely buzzing for Sunday. What I would say, I obviously was at Hampden on Monday, and obviously vaccine passports are still a thing, so anyone that hasn't been to Hampden, I'd went in at the section B5, which is the kind of cornery between the west stand and the Rangers end and the north stand. Didn't get checked, but I know I'm going in, we're in the south stand upper for the game on Sunday, and I guarantee that they'll probably more than likely to get spot checked because you're going inside. So just make everyone aware of that. Not to forget to bring a wee copy along.
Very good shout, mate. Very good shout. And last but not least, Carney, thank you very much. Thanks for letting me host as well, mate.
No problem, mate. You did rather well. I'm very impressed with your first time round, mate. It's It's easy. You're sitting talking to us about football, mate. It's easy. No, but well done. And obviously, people that haven't seen the video from last night, we have started a kind of subscription bit on YouTube. It's become a Club at 22 supporter. It costs 99p. You'll be supporting us, improved content by investing in better equipment, allowing us to approach different players, people that may charge a fee for this, and we're also going to start bringing you live pods from locations across Glasgow. Details of our first one will be coming quite soon. If you become a Club at 22 supporter, you will get early access to the live tickets when they go up, and if you're still a supporter at the end of this season, you will be entered into a draw to win a £50 gift voucher for the Rangers store. So I cannot thank everybody enough for the people that have done this and subscribed. If subscription's not really your thing and you want to still donate, you can buy us a coffee. There's a link for that. We all know how thirsty Scotia can get, so he would definitely appreciate it. So if you can, I say, if you want to donate, you can. However, after saying all that, you don't have to. Nothing's going to change. This podcast is proof of this show, so nothing is going to change. You would just genuinely be helping support our podcast to take the next step. So thank you, everybody. My spiel's done. Ryan, well done, mate. Bring on Sunday. Beers and football. Rangers, please do not ruin my Sunday.
Yeah, totally. And I want to echo what Carney says there. I hope everybody continues to like the podcast. The guys put a lot of good work in, and we've built a brilliant community that we just want to increase and make this podcast as good as it can be for you all. But yes, everybody enjoy the match on Sunday. We are Club at 22. Let's Gio.